Today, the Supreme Court held that the government can block non-citizens who are in the United States under a program of temporary protected status from applying for adjustment of status. Let me break this down for you guys. If you have TPS and you entered the United States legally on a visa, or you were paroled and admitted at the border and you marry a U.S. citizen, which would be your most basic example of applying for adjustment of status, and you also have TPS, you're still able to adjust your status. That's never been the issue. The issue is people who entered without inspection, people who came with no visas, people who came across the border, were never inspected, and then ultimately got TPS. The question became, are they eligible to adjust their status? The argument is that the government gave them some sort of status that they otherwise didn't have. The argument against adjusting status is that the law is very clear. In order to adjust your status, you have to be inspected or paroled at a border. So there was a court out in California that allowed people who entered without inspection, who had TPS, to adjust their status. Ultimately, it went all the way up to the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, all the justices, including the liberal ones, sided with immigration. They said the law is very, very clear. You have to be admitted on a visa. You have to be paroled into the United States. You need to have been inspected at a border to adjust your status, even if you have TPS. So this is really applying to people who entered without inspection, who were then granted TPS. Are they eligible to adjust their status? And the answer is no. You've never been able, by the way. That has been the general rule. It hasn't changed. The Supreme Court has ruled against allowing that. Now, there is always a workaround. If you have TPS, whether you're Haitian TPS or from whatever country, if you have TPS, you are eligible for something called advance parole. We talk about it all the time. Advance parole is a temporary travel document to leave the United States for a very short period of time and then return. Guess what happens if you enter without inspection? You're then granted TPS. You then get advance parole. You leave the United States for a short trip. You come back into the United States. You go to the airport. You go to the border. You show them your advance parole document. Guess what just happened? Even though you initially entered the United States without inspection, you came across the border, because you have now shown your advance parole and you are now readmitted to the United States, you are inspected at the border. You're married to a U.S. citizen. You could adjust your status. You have a U.S. citizen son or daughter who's over the age of 21. You can adjust your status. You are the child under the age of 21 of a United States citizen. You can adjust your status. So that's one way around it. Unfortunately, those who entered without inspection, according to the Supreme Court, Justice Kagan, who is a liberal judge, she wrote the opinion. She said it is a straightforward application of immigration law, and it supports the government's decision to deny adjustment of status because this particular litigant was not lawfully admitted. So if you have TPS, you entered without inspection, the answer is get advance parole, leave, return. Now you're lawfully admitted. Now you can adjust your status. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.